Imagine yourself standing by the shore, gazing out at the wide ocean, unaware of the disaster that's about to happen. For those who have experienced a tsunami, it's a terrifying memory that never fades. It reminds them of how powerful nature can be. In this video journey, we witness 4 huge waves crashing onto the shore, capturing the fear and shock of the people who were there. Be sure to subscribe to our channel to see more videos like that. Number 4. Mega Tsunami. Tsunamis are often triggered by enormous underwater earthquakes, which displace large amounts of water. A mega tsunami, on the other hand, happens when a massive amount of water is displaced as a result of the abrupt addition of material into a body of water. Most mega tsunamis are caused by a rapid landslide or the collapse of an iceberg. However, there's one event in history that stands out for its impact, not just locally, but globally. Around 66 million years ago, an enormous asteroid, ranging from 6.8 to 50.3 miles in diameter, slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula, leaving behind what we now call the Chicxulub impact crater. This catastrophic event triggered a mega tsunami, towering over 100 meters high, unlike anything seen before or since. Some scientists speculate that the wave surged so far inland that it reached as far as Chicago, Montana, or even Canada. Yet, surprisingly, the most devastating effects didn't come from the wave itself. The asteroid strike of this magnitude was catastrophic enough to annihilate entire species from the Earth. The impact on water was as devastating as on land. Nevertheless, it caused widespread environmental upheaval worldwide, ushering in an ice age and likely marking the end of the dinosaurs. Now let's shift our focus to another instance where the power of a tsunami was captured on camera. Number 3. Mirandi Bridge. Moving to another event, an inland tsunami caused significant damage in areas surrounding a reservoir approximately 100 kilometers north of Venice. Shortly after World War II, Italy embarked on various construction projects, including the construction of the ill-fated Mirandi Bridge in Genoa, which doubled as a hydroelectric dam. Despite numerous warnings about the instability of the mountain above it, Monte Toc, during its construction, with locals reporting ongoing tremors and landslides, operators disregarded the signs of danger. As a precautionary measure, they opted to lower the water level in the reservoir behind the dam. However, this decision proved to be disastrous. On October 9, 1963, a massive landslide sent rocks, trees, and soil crashing into the reservoir below. The impact propelled an immense wave of water soaring 250 meters above the dam, before cascading down the valley, obliterating every village in its path. The tsunami displaced the air with a force said to be more potent than that of an atomic bomb. Next, we'll dive into another incident where the destructive force of a tsunami caused widespread devastation in unexpected locales. Number 2. Mount Unzen. Mount Unzen in Japan stands as a stark reminder of the devastating power of volcanic activity. Located near the city of Shimabara on the island of Kyushu, Mount Unzen is part of an active volcanic group, characterized by several overlapping stratovolcanoes. In 1990, after a period of dormancy lasting a couple of hundred years, Mount Unzen awoke with terrifying force. However, it was the eruption of 1792 that cemented Mount Unzen's infamy in history books. In the lead-up to this catastrophic event, the area had been experiencing frequent earthquakes, signaling the restless nature of the volcanic landscape. Despite these ominous signs, construction projects, including the Mirandi Bridge hydroelectric dam, proceeded without heeding the warnings of instability from the mountain above, Monte Toc. One thing that made this tsunami especially deadly was the fact that it struck the Hyōgo province on the other side of Louya Bay. Then it bounced back and hit Shimabara again. The wave was said to have reached a height of 330 feet or 100 meters, making it capable of reaching miles inland and wiping out anything in its path. Out of all of the fatalities, around 5,000 are thought to have been from the landslide, around 5,000 from the tsunami going across the bay, and the remainder from when the tsunami returned. There are few geological events in recorded history that saw the destructive force as that of the Mount St. Helens eruption in 1980. It was the Earth's largest terrestrial landslide in historical times, a result of a restless volcano and its uniquely violent eruption. The most defining thing of this eruption was the total collapse of the northern slope, leading to an immense pyroclastic flow. However, something else came out of this collapse that was disastrous in its own right. When the side of the mountain fell, it plowed directly into Spirit Lake, which was a short distance from the base of the volcano. As the huge column of rock and dirt crashed into the lake, it produced a tsunami that measured 860 feet or 260 meters above the lake level. The lake also grew in size, nearly doubling from 1,300 acres to roughly 2,200 acres. Inland tsunamis like this are one of the rarest natural disasters on Earth. This massive wall of water traveled for quite a ways, knocking down trees and any structures that were in the way. However, even with 860 feet of water moving at an incredible rate, it would eventually be overtaken by the fiery cloud of ash that spewed out of the mountain. This mixture of water and ash created some of the most devastating mud flows, clogging rivers and leaving a disgusting sludge behind that would take months to solidify. Over time, Spirit Lake was able to fill back up and now has a level of around 406 feet that is constantly monitored and maintained. But it took over 20 years for the lake to get to the condition that it's currently in. As you can see by the disaster of Spirit Lake, inland tsunamis can spell certain doom for anyone unlucky enough to be in its path when it strikes. However, this wasn't the first inland tsunami to have been recorded. Now, let's move on to another story of nature's power, this time involving a different kind of tsunami. Number 1. Louya Bay. It's pretty hard to imagine tsunamis towering to the heights we've talked about, nearly as long as cricket stadiums, if not longer. This naturally makes you think, can tsunamis actually go thousands of feet high? The answer seems hard to grasp, but the massive tsunami of 1958 in Louya Bay, Alaska, shows it's possible. A big shake on a quiet July night caused roughly 30.6 million cubic meters of rock to tumble 3,000 feet into the Gilbert Inlet, making a giant wave. This wave got up to a whopping 1,720 feet, or about 520 meters high, wreaking havoc as it rushed through the fjord, wiping out plants and pulling up millions of trees. Even though it was incredibly strong, not many people got hurt because there weren't many folks around, proving how dangerous tsunamis from landslides can be. This event not only shows how strong nature is, but also raises big questions about our understanding of tsunamis and what they can do. While some may find it hard to believe such huge waves are possible, the Louya Bay tsunami shows nature's unpredictability and strength. It makes us rethink what we know and learn more about how these natural events happen. Additionally, the way things happened after this event shows how well nature can recover after big disasters. Despite the huge destruction, nature bounced back in the years after. We've covered the immense power of tsunamis numerous times before, but now we have a scale to comprehend just how massive they can grow, whether triggered by earthquakes or landslides. They persist as some of the most lethal forces on Earth. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more engaging content.